may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, I am so excited to bring y'all our first video for our fantasy basketball channel. Now yes, I'm going to be the first person to say that I don't know nearly as much about fantasy basketball as I do fantasy football. Y'all know I sleep, breathe, eat, whatever you want to say, fantasy football, but I am a massive fan of the NBA. I actually think that the NBA is a better product than the NFL. I have experience in fantasy basketball leagues, mainly just with my friends that I can dominate based on a simple understanding of how statistics work. But anyway, I am so excited to fully dive headfirst into fantasy basketball over the next few months with y'all. And yeah, let's just get it started and let's talk about our top 5 rankings at the guard position for the 2020-2021 season. Okay, so coming in at number 1, I know that he is a clear option for most people. Some people are a little hesitant though. James Harden. Okay guys, yes, obviously there are the rumors circulating around James Harden that he could be moved to Brooklyn, that he could be moved to Golden State, wherever you want to say. But here with James Harden, I think that we just have to acknowledge the fact that this is a player that has been so dominant in fantasy basketball over the past few years, where even if his usage rate slightly goes down in whatever offense that he's going to be playing for in 2020, he should still be able to dominate and put points up in every single statistical category. And now I want to make this clarity that I am going to be making these rankings for your leagues where you are playing based on those statistical categories, where you have your matchups and you are trying to outscore your opponent in the points category, as well as assists, rebounds, free throw percentage, field goal percentage, steals, blocks, turnovers. Y'all know the drill. I'm not going to be messing around with the league where you just get a total point number for your player at the end of the week. Honestly, I think that's not necessarily nearly as fun because it takes so much of the strategy behind it completely out of it. So if we go into James Harden, I mean, you look at every single statistical category. I mean, field goal percentage, not necessarily through the roof, but it's definitely okay for the amount of volume that he is seeing. Obviously, we know the main thing that James Harden brings to the table is those free throws, as well as combined with the three-point shot. I mean, his true shooting is through the roof. You also look at his just raw numbers in points, rebounds, and assists. And if we really want to get down to the details, I'll be the first person to say that I'm not going to be someone to overrate the amount of points a player scores for that statistical category. So like James Harden, yes, even if he projects to see 34 points a game, that's not necessarily going to be drastically raising him up my rankings based on the fact that we can easily find points elsewhere. But what you cannot ignore is the fact that he is combining this elite usage with his overall points, his threes, and that field goal percentage with the assist. I mean, the assists are going to be over 8 a game easily in 2020, provides you a nice solid combination where here we know the assists are the hardest thing to find when you are constructing your roster based off of them going off the board so early. And I know that's why a lot of people who have been arguing to take maybe Karl Anthony Towns at number 1 over James Harden, in my opinion, are just completely wrong, as I think James Harden should be the number 1 player off the board regardless of what team he is going to be on in 2020, 2021. I mean, if we had the 100% certainty that it was going to be the Brooklyn Nets, then yes, we could scale him back slightly just because we know that would be a very strange fit with Kyrie and KD, all wanting the ball, all wanting the offense to run through them. I think that's the one landing spot where we look at James Harden and have to bump him down our rankings slightly. But outside of that, I think that he is going to be what drives any NBA offense that he is running. And obviously, he's going to have some bad turnovers because of his usage rate being so high. But I know James Harden has an overall narrative around the NBA that he is not a solid defender. But like I say all the time, in fantasy basketball, it does not matter how good of a defender you are. All that matters is you are going to rack up those steals and blocks. I don't care how many times you let someone get by you and score a basket. And here we know that with James Harden, he's going to have a respectable steal and block total. So if you combine with this, with his efficiency, with his overall fantastic assist and point numbers, James Harden is clearly the number 1 option for me. Okay, now coming in here at number 2, I know this is going to surprise a lot of people, but we are going to have Luka. Okay, so with Luka, guys, can we all take a second and appreciate the fact that he is 21 years old? I know a lot of people want to come out here and they want to talk about his defensive statistics, but guys, I mean, with Luka, what are you expecting? Are you expecting him to be a LeBron James level talent coming into the NBA right away, dominating every single statistical category? I am more than willing to give Luka the benefit of the doubt, saying that he will be able to progress his game in the steal and block category, just understanding that he has the size. I mean, there's no excuse for him not to be able to go out there and put up a respectable number of blocks, to put up a respectable number of steals. And going along with that, we know that Luka is someone that's not going to kill you with his efficiency in his free throws and his field goal percentage. And this is easily a player who can average 30, 10, and 10. I mean, if you were just trying to stuff the stat sheet in terms of points, rebounds, and assists, I think that Luka is going to be a fantastic option for you, as he is literally a player that's going to have the ball in his hands almost every single possession. And on top of that, we know that with Luka, grabbing those assists early on in your fantasy draft is going to be a priority for any draft that I am in, because the assists are the hardest thing to find. And when you can combine them with those other top-end statistics, I think that is a no-brainer. I know this is going to be higher than where most people have them, but I just want to give him the benefit of the doubt, assuming that maybe he can bump up those defensive statistics. Okay, so now coming in here at number 3, I know everybody's favorite player. We're going to have Damien Lillard. Okay, with Lillard, obviously, fantastic field goal and free throw percentage combined with great threes. This is why I'm actually going to have him ahead of Stephen Curry, because compared to Curry, we know that Dame is going to have that guaranteed workload in not only his points, his field goal percentage, and his threes, which is right there with Curry. But here, Dame has no injury concerns. I mean, really, you have nothing to say bad against them unless you want to hyper focus in on the blocks, maybe the rebounding. But from our guard position, that's not something we're expecting anyway. I will say the reason that we're going to have Luka over a Dame, though, is just because we know that we want to be able to go out there and get that elite level of assist. I'm not nearly as concerned about three-pointers with how every single player in the NBA has a three-point shot at this point. That's going to be a statistic that you can find later on in your fantasy draft. Here with Dame, I think that this is a player that we cannot ignore as having top 3 upside with his usage. Okay, so now coming in here at 4, I just referenced him, but we are going to have Steph Curry. Okay, so with Steph Curry, obviously we know that he's going to have a fantastic free throw percentage. He's going to have a decent field goal percentage. He's going to have the points, and he's going to have the three-point shots. I mean, none of that is in question. Also, we know with Steph Curry, he provides you the assist and steals. Neither of those are going to jump off the page, but by no means are you going to have to punt the statistics with you draft a Steph Curry. The only question here is how many games are we certain we're going to get from Curry coming off a broken hand a little bit later on in his NBA career. And on top of that, it looks like the Golden State Warriors may not even be top contenders unless they decide to make a move with the Klay Thompson injuries. So here, I think that we just have to look at the overall concern for the amount of games that he could miss, and he put Steph Curry down here at 4 behind a Damian Lillard. Okay, so now coming out, rounding us out at the number 5 spot, someone that I've seen play live multiple times, Trae Young. Okay, so with Trae Young, I'll say the number one thing that is in question, in my opinion, is actually the decision making. Nothing based on what he's done at the NBA level, but the fact that he decided to go to Oklahoma as his college of choice. I mean, are you kidding me here, Trae? Like, just embarrassing, in my opinion. You decided to go live in Oklahoma for like 6 months or however long you were there. Obviously joking. Besides the point, we know that he's going to have the free throw percentage. He is going to possibly lead the NBA in assists. I mean, he is the definition of a playmaker, someone that can space the court like nobody else. He's going to have the threes. He's going to have pretty much everything that you want to see besides the defensive statistics. And here I have a little bit of questions around the fact that he's going to have no defensive stats, combined with the fact that we know he's going to be way down at the bottom in rebounds. So here with Trae Young, yes, the efficiency should be there. Yes, he is going to cover that stat that we desire so much in assist. But here, that's why I think we have to have him down here at 5, because we don't necessarily think the defensive stats or the rebounding will be there. But now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. I hope I'll see y'all with the video tomorrow.